good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And as we begin the night, we already start with a slight technical error on my behalf. Something we'll be able to correct, hopefully, shortly. Our little slideshow has disappeared, but we move on. Welcome, everybody, to Sector 1 Community Series, proudly sponsored by Auto One. Thanks to Auto One for taking us on board with this little venture of ours, a community series where all the future stars are born. Future stars of the main series. People like Tank Master and Speedy Tyres have come from here, and Grassy's, Hollingworth, and my fellow commentator, who is quite possibly the most popular man on S1, definitely has the most loyal following, the biggest following. Welcome, Mr. Diego Maradona. How are you, mate?
Good, buddy. Thank you. I wouldn't go that far, but we've got a few supporters out there.
We all know what the deal is, mate. You draw the crowd, and we all appreciate it anyway. So thanks for joining us tonight. Looking forward to some serious racing.
Me too. Thank
you.
On
this shortened track. So, look, as I said, we've had our first little technical difficulty, which we shall overcome. But tonight's race, as you can see on the screen already, Kyoto Driving Park, Miyabi, short little track, which the boys will be jetting around for half an hour. Qualifying starting shortly. But before we go to that, let's have a little bit more of an in-depth view of what it looks like to get around this track.
Welcome back for another season of the Auto One Sector 1 Community Series. Here we are in the beautiful S1. Welcome back for another season of the Auto One Sector 1 Community Series. Here we are in the beautiful S1 Magan, around round one, which is at Miyabi. Tricky little racetrack. This one really important to keep flow and quarter speed up as we're heading down the main straight now, building our speed into the very fast turn one. Just back it off a little bit. Really important to keep a nice flow up. Do not overwork the car through here. It punishes tyres. Now into the first flip flop. This will be flat out through here, so you want to get out as wide as possible, flick it across, and then as soon as you see that second apex, absolutely dart it across there. Then we're going to be really hard on the brakes, down into the hairpin, back to second gear, really tugging in, nose in, and then fire it out of there into the second of the flip-flops. This one's a little bit trickier, because if you catch too much of that inside curve, it'll really unsettle the car, and you may receive a penalty. This is going to prove to be an awesome opening to the Auto One Sector 1 Community Series. And that is how you go purple.
That is how you go purple. I think I chopped a bit of that video out, but fine lap there from Ghost, setting the example of how to get around this track quickly. Okay, so we might get organised here and get ourselves, or try to get reorganised, Diogo, and get ourselves away with some qualifying.
Sounds good.
Set the boys away. It's a short track tonight, guys, so it's all going to happen pretty fast and furious. There won't be much time for a breather there. These guys are keen. We've got a full house tonight. We've got 14 drivers.
The race itself's looking to be about a 50 lap. Did a quick simulation the other night with a couple of the guys.
50 laps.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know, it's around about there.
Enough to make you dizzy.
Exactly.
As they set off. Yeah, so as I was saying, we do have a full grid tonight, which is great. A few guys here with names that might trip me up, like She Army. But what did we say we're going to call him? Shermanator? Shermanator. We got Ando's 787 in tonight.
Oh, what a livery that is too.
Beautiful. We have T-Jam we're going to go with. And Skirtle's in the house. We got Magnet 73. We got Daz. And Millsy, the return of Millsy, of course, and one of the old school Sector 1 drivers who's come in for a bit of a drive tonight. We've got Brandosa. We've got Raider Racer. The captain, another captain, has joined us tonight for a bit of a run around. Who else have we got? We have. Oh, what do we decide on? I think we said we're going to go with Rui tonight.
Rui.
Rui. We got Rui getting round. As we get the first of the qualifying laps start to come through. It's going to be fast and furious. Keeping up with what's happening here is going to be tricky. So we've said we got Skirtle up the front here. Is posted the fastest first lap. Faster by 0.2 of a second. Over Magnet 73. Daz in third. So there's our top three for the time being as they come around again. I wonder how many qualifying laps these boys are going to get in. Straight in a pit, straight away. 2 of them. 3 of them, not all of them.
Okay.
Interesting.
Only burned off 8 or so litres as well.
You don't tend to do something like that unless you've practiced, I reckon. Make a decision to come in up after lap 1. There's obviously been some practice put in and some thought put into some strategy. So we've had T-Jam jump up into first position. Green Beacon. Of course, the boys racing in these Renault. What are these? The Renault Megans, are they?
Correct, yes. Group 4 cars.
Fun to drive cars.
Oh, heaps of aero. Still a little bit of slide in them as well.
Just feel well planted. Something that you can drive aggressively, especially around these smaller tracks.
It's good to see they're giving way to the guys on the racing line as they're coming out of the pits there as well. It's often a tricky task at a track like this.
Short little exit, that one. Yeah, it could be a tricky one. So we have a look at Ando tearing around the track, looking to set a competitive time, which it looks like he already has. He comes now to complete another qualifying lap. Of course he did. Straight into pits he went. On board with Magnet 73, who might do the same thing again. 38.1 at the moment. I think we may have seen some 37s even in some of the practice, which is a pretty sharp. Oh, he has to. Cheeky bugger.
I couldn't crack that magic 37 number.
No.
So there's a couple of quick boys out there tonight.
Okay.
Definitely all coming in rather early on the pit stops.
Yeah, it's been rather tricky finding who's actually completing a lap because they happen so quickly, but we are on board now with Brandosa, who's managed to get himself up into second position. A mere 5/100ths behind the leader, T-Jam. I think we're going to run with. Running here for, what's that team's name again? Always forget it. Blacklight, that's the one. The mob down at Blacklight. Doesn't manage to improve.
The green beacon, I do believe, is Red Mist.
Red Mist, thank you. I will be relying heavily on you for some of the team names as we see Spanhouse now has managed to get himself up into third.
That's a good looking car, that one.
There it is, the Auto 1 Renault Megane, currently sitting in third as we're well past halfway qualifying already, and these guys will now be starting to get sort of down to the point where that fuel burn will start to pay off. Fresh rubber for some.
Field. Oh, someone's put in the field as well.
Oh, really? Yeah, you don't want to be doing that.
Millsy.
Rookie mistake, Millsy.
No, they're only done quarter of a tank, so...
Joe. Well, every little kilo counts. Still that 38.1 is the time to beat. Skirtle manages to improve slightly. He's up into 4th. We have a look at Millsy here. He's caught in a bit of traffic. Might get a bit of a tow up the straight here though. Millsy's still in 6th, but there is virtually nothing covering the majority of this field A. So we got 3/10 from 1st to 6th. Let's give a look further down the track, but there's a half second between 1st and 9th. Well, on a track like this, I suppose it's a bit of damage already there on the counter punch. No, that is, yeah, the counter punch I should know, being my team. On the counter punch Renault, the front right's showing a bit of damage.
Hopefully with the wall and not another competitor there.
Yeah, that one's got competitor written. I think it would have been on the other side if it was wall. Oh, no, not necessarily. I have seen when they come off on this track, they come off at speed. There's been some real high speed incidents through warm-up and through practice.
The back flip-flop is definitely the spot that catches you out.
Spit you out sideways, and next thing you know, you're flying over that grass. So quick run through with 2 minutes left in qualifying. We've got T-Jam in 1st, Brandosa in 2nd. Caught in a bit of traffic. Spanhouse has come into pits yet again. Might get time to get around one more time on fresh rubber. Might have timed it perfectly. Millsy's done the same. Sitting in 4th. Skirtle's come in. He's cutting it fine, but should still be okay. Ando out on track. Geez, these times are so close. There's nothing between these cars. Fingers crossed it leads to a fantastic race. As we go to the leader, T-Jam. They'll be giving it everything now. Nothing to hold back.
Well, he's used the most fuel in the field as
Interesting.
well. So
He's coming
just above half a tank there.
Brandos has pulled out of his flying lap, getting out of everybody's way.
That is a good looking car too, that one.
The black light car.
Yes, spot on. The
Yeah.
black light car there. Bit of traffic.
Yeah, I think a few of these guys, that's proving to be the main problem. They just, the traffic out on track is hindering some of these guys from threatening that early lap, which was a 38.1, and up until now is holding up. We're down to the final 30 seconds. Oh, that was a good time. That was a fair run there by Skirtle. He's managed to push himself to the front row of the podium. He is 7/100ths behind T-Jam. That's a good time. Let's see who else will be able to improve in his final seconds.
Doses out. He just ruined the last sector there.
Ah, bugger. Ando improves on his time, also improves his position, I believe. Ando 787. And there we go, bang. T-Jam manages the first 37 to 37.9, so clearly the pace set up. As they all now get themselves mentally prepared for what will be a fast, furious race around this short track.
Getting ready for the lights to go green. Field set.
Yep.
T-Jam off the front row there. Skirtle coming in second. Brandosa's pulling in third.
Start to get lights lighting up. 1, 2, 3 red lights, 4, 5. Holding them. And they're off. They're away. Looks like a
he's
clean
got the
start.
hazards on.
Somebody had hazards on. But T-Jam with a perfect start, really. He's got the best of it with hazards on. Hazards make you quicker.
The double Fabian, I've heard.
Good start for all, really. No major dramas by the looks of it early on.
Couple off in the back straight there. We got Raider Racer, Robbo Sport, both come off in the back chicane.
Out the back. Well, the racing's going to be tight. There's not going to be a hell of a lot of room out there. These guys are going to have to be on the ball, be well aware of what's happening around them. Make sure that they're clear of cars both inside and outside before they start to shift their lines too aggressively. Otherwise, an accident out the front could clean the whole field up here, which would be exciting.
Oh, it's tough, that last chicane coming onto the front straight there to get not get the penalty.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who will be the first to cop a penalty through there. Somebody's going to have to. Gee, that's a quick lap already, a 38.1. As T-Jam clears out to a half-second lead from Skirtle. Closely followed by whose house? Span's house.
Span's house.
And Millsy sitting in fourth. And those top four have put a bit of a break into the field already. Skirtle running a little deep, little wide. And that's going to probably compromise him up the straight here. Nothing silly, nothing overly aggressive, no big dive, although he's wiggling his way up the inside there.
What that does do, though, is put T-Jam out to a 1.2.
It has. It's allowed him to skip away a little bit here, and these guys will want to be careful not to let him get too far away. You get the feeling if he gets that 2-3 second lead, they'll have a hard time catching him up. Thanks, good doc. All over it. So we'll have a look just behind the top four, see what's happening down in that mid-pack. Ando in fifth. He's got himself a bit of space out there already.
You got Magnet there coming in just behind.
Just in behind him.
Captain. Brandosa just actually stuck it up the inside of Dollar Dazzler. So that was actually a pretty good move.
Let's see if we can catch a replay of that. I've probably missed it. Start gambling on some of these replays. Anyway. So we did get a little bit... We have got a little bit spread out nice and early here. I expect them to maybe be a little bit closer, but I suppose strategy is going to play into this a little bit.
The tyres seem to last over the sort of stint. I worked off a 15-minute stint. The tyres seem to last if you looked after them.
Are we assuming that a one stop's pretty much the go?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So again, a game of sort of tyre conservation, fuel conservation.
Well, you could go as T-Jam out there. He's really pushed out to 2.5 second lead. So he's obviously pushing pretty hard.
He is. And he's being favoured, I think, a bit by the battling just behind him there. Spanhouse and Millsy still going at it. They have dropped Skirtle. I'm thinking Skirtle's had a bit of a moment somewhere, which has dropped him off about a second behind these two. Probably a moment to acknowledge our viewers. Sorry, boys, it's second stream only, and still getting used to it all. I can see your fan club's in the house there, Diego.
Always appreciative of my fan club.
Yep.
They're always there.
They're in the house. We got Karen. G'day, guys. Womble. Chris CB Racing, how are you, mate? Well, like I said, I expected this to be a little bit tighter. They have spread out a tad early on, but we have some keen racers here, guys that are really keen to become a part of the main game of Sector 1. Had a brief chat to Ando787, who we've got on screen at the moment. Ando is a Qantas captain, so he's used to flying. And he's throwing his Renault around the track at the moment aggressively, although he's got Brandosa on his tail giving him a hard time at the moment. But involved in a few different leagues, I believe, Ando, but a keen GT sport participant. Resides in Sydney, I believe, a Sydney boy. And he's checking things out at Sector 1 and with an eye to competing in the main game further down the track.
He's competing now. Brandosa's major pressure on the backside.
Yeah, Brandosa's not giving him a choice. Brandosa's going to give him a bit of a push here. That's not the view we're looking for. That's the one.
A couple of battles happening in the pack at the moment. Back in 8th and 9th, Capitan and Daz is having a bit of a bite for the first corner there. Ooh, and she's sheep stations back in 11th, 12th and 13th.
Like
Shermanator.
and a red cock go back there.
Red. I reckon that's the spot.
And a lonely fella, Robbo Sport, out the back of the field at the moment. He's just dropped off temporarily off the back of the field. So we check him up the front again. And T-Jam's out of here. He said, "See you later, boys," and he's starting to stretch his lead out towards 3 seconds, which is on a track of this length, a substantial lead. Spanhouse in second comfortably. I think it's a good second out in front of Millsy. Interesting to see. Skirtle's really fallen off the back of these three, and now coming under pressure from both Ando and Brando. So this is looking a little bit fiery.
He's used a lot more of the right hand, the left hand front there. Sorry, compared to the other boys around him. He's struggling a bit.
It's what we were referring to before, you know, being able to take care of the car a little bit. And he did look like he had a couple of moments which may have sort of added to the wear of that tyre, and now he's paying the price for it. And he's still got a good, you know, maybe another, you would have thought another 7 or 8 laps before pits would be due.
Captain's putting big pressure on Skirtle now.
Not an easy track to pass on, is it? A lot of
It's
sort of those.
The first sort of bank corner is pretty good.
Yep. A lot of high-speed corners there, which might allow you to sort of pull up close and maybe even side by side, but often finding yourself then on the outside of the next corner.
It's also a bit tricky, like Ando 787 there. He's putting pressure onto Skirtle. He's also got Brandosa
Yeah,
on the
he's
back
under
of
the
him,
pump from
huge
Brandosa.
amount.
Yep.
So you're trying to hit Skirtle at the same time, but then you've got Brandosa in the background making a menace of himself.
Brandosa's got a much better run onto that straight there, and still not really able to capitalise on that extra speed into the straight. He's right on his ginger now.
No, up the inside. That makes it the outside.
Does.
If you don't hit the line through that sweep at that chicane there.
It's just a track that's really just devoid of a point where you can slam on the brake, you know, and outbrake an opponent. It's all mid-high speed corners. But as we have a first of the pit stops there, I think Millsy's just had a stop from third. He's managed to come back out in seventh, hopefully not in too much traffic. He's cleared Magnet.
He's looking for the undercut there, I think.
That was an early stop. See, it's going to be an extremely long second stint. Magnet, a Melbourne boy looking to compete in the main game at some stage at Sector 1. I believe Magnet might even be doing a little bit of social media work for some of our teams. Lucky's Lawn Care Racing.
Correct.
And the second team there, which one D-Flow had started, I think. Good mates Magnet and D-Flow, believe from way back in the day. Something tells me that at some stage Magnet here might get a drive in one of those two teams in the not too distant future. He's here to impress. He wanted to show everybody that he was capable, and currently in 6th position.
He's not that far off the pack in front of him either, really.
No, he's just in a bit of no man's land at the moment. They're in 6th, but we'll need to see when... Oh, here we go. 3 wide. Interesting.
Was he on the fresh tyres there?
Yep. He's, geez, he may have made this work here.
Well, he could be pulling a 2-stop.
Just see Skirtle there run real deep again, and this is going to give Brandosa the opportunity to scoot past, and he does. So Skirtle just getting the last
There
sector of this. Yep, first one. Or that we've noticed anyway. Well done on the burn. I believe that was the burns sector. But yeah, he's having a bit of trouble with just that last little section of the track. He's come unstuck a couple of times now, and as a result, it's done his tyres in, and he's finding it a bit of a handful, but still in 5th, competitive. Let's throw a run through the field once again as we have a look at our leader, who's had his
Probably pit as well.
Yeah. I think he'll have that pit stop advantage over Spanhouse, who's currently in 2nd, probably owing us a pit stop.
Spanhouse looks like he's pit as well.
He has.
Right on the fuel.
Okay.
Mills, there you go. There's a stop there. Skirtle definitely hasn't stopped.
So he's doing the traditional one-stopper Skirtle, where Spanhouse looks like he's doing a 2. Oh, see somebody running wide on the grass in the background there.
And
Magnet in 5th. We've got Ando in 6th. Brandosa, who was all over the back of those guys not long ago, and seems to have slipped back again. The black light car. Magnet's taking the opportunity to pit. Daz out the back of the field there in the Cornerstone, I believe. Bez Media Renault. Robbo Sport, Lucky's Lawn Care. Can't get that one wrong. These guys look like they may have been at it for some time. Raider Racer.
Obsession Motorsport.
Obsession Motorsport. Cool looking car. I like that livery.
Carp Magic. The fantastic Tasmania business there. Forgotten Island Breweries. Tamer Cars. I do believe that's it's Mr. Pruer's business there, or that he works for.
Mr. Pruski. How are you, Pruski, if you're watching? Debrev. With his hands full.
De Capitan.
Of the captain, yeah. We haven't seen these pink cars at the back end of a field too often, but of course you never know what you're going to get in this community series. At the end of the day, it's all about these guys having a bit of fun, getting a race streamed, exposing what they've got to Sector 1, and then hopefully if they're wanting to kick on into bigger and better things, getting an opportunity at some stage down the track. Of course, we've just started Season 2. We saw just Sunday past the Group A boys, Group A, GT and BMW kick things off. An amazing GT race. Diego, were you a part of that one?
For sure.
You were?
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to watch the replay?
Yes.
Pretty exciting finish.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Doesn't get much better.
Had a pretty good finish there.
Sign of things to come, hopefully.
Ricky Bobby stuck it up the inside of me last corner, last lap.
Oh, did he? Gotcha?
Yeah, got me. Coming. See you later.
It takes more than a week to get over that, doesn't it?
It was a good race.
It was, mate. It was a spectacular race, and of course the Group A BMW boys had a crack. And this Sunday, anybody who wants to tune in, we've got well, you should all be tuning in. Really, we've got the Group B boys getting around, Group B GT, Group B BMW boys. Of course, we're going to see the return of The Voice. I'm sure he'll tell you all about it, boys, once he gets an opportunity. He's back. He's Sean. He's Ghost. And
He's been putting in the laps, so
yeah, he's been putting in some serious practice. He's out there to win. Oh, what do we have there? Just a back marker, I think, just getting out of the way there.
Ando's got himself a penalty. Rooney just bought himself a penalty too.
A few guys starting to get a little loose, going round and round and round. Might be getting a little
27 laps.
Might be getting a little dizzy. 27 laps in, past the halfway mark. I think you might be bang on for the 50 laps here. At the moment, this is about as close a battle as we've got, which is the Lucky's Lawn Care entry, Robbo Sport and Raider Racer, who's having a bit of a dip up the inside, looking to gain position. Side by side.
Giving each other room, good to see.
Is that the one they call the Big Thong, Sean? I think it is. Is it call it the Big Thong, the Big Flip Flop?
Jenga?
Jenga?
Jenga.
And he's managed to pull that off. Well done, Raider Racer. Nice and clean pass. Well done to both of them.
Hunting on to Daz there now.
Yep, he's on the move.
Bit better tyre life than Daz as well. Daz looks like he's pushed hard this stint.
You'd have to assume now that all of them have stopped. At least once.
Of course, Millsy would be... Millsy's very light on fuel. So.
Well, we know that, well, it might be Millsy and Spanhouse would be the other one. I think are looking to two-stop. As we just saw Raider Racer there clip a curb and unsettle the car, but managed to recover it. He's got a good run here and a good chance of getting the better of Daz. As he pokes the nose up the inside. Completes the move successfully. Yeah, well, fresher tyres make the difference, don't they? Look at the way he's being able to clear away here.
Speaking of clearing away, old T-Jam, he's 1.6 back to in front of Spanhouse there. So the gap's come down a little bit in the lead.
He'd be carrying... Would I be wrong in thinking he's carrying substantial more... Oh, no, he's in.
Comes.
Here we go. Oh, this is... It's close. Spanhouse has done something there to gain position as the way... He wasn't in the top 4, was he? Initially. And now he was in a legitimate second position there. I thought maybe he'd taken less fuel or... But no, he's just worked hard and put himself in contention here.
Puts the captain into second. He's on the light as well, so he'll have to come in again.
Oh, geez, we want that back marker to clear out, really. That's it, mate. Just a bit of a moment there for the leader, T-Jam. He got a little bit of a nudge. I'm assuming the blue flags should be out here. Spanhouse manages to clear the back marker as well. He's lost a little bit of time, just over a second, and then a full 7 seconds back to Skirtle in third.
Millsy not too far
And
behind.
Millsy's still hunting him down. Yeah, those two are going to look like fight out that final position on the podium, unless something fairly drastic happens to the front two.
With 8 minutes left, both the leaders have put a little bit over half a tank of fuel in.
Womble, I think the 5-stop strategy is going to be the stock standard on Sunday, mate. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Here we go, Millsy now.
Skirtle's run it wide. Millsy through. What a move. He's got the fresher car as well.
He
Tyres are
does.
beautiful.
Makes the
Looks
world a
good.
difference. Here he goes. Immediately being able to pull away through all these high-speed corners. That extra bit of grip. Oh, that's a bit of a
Gap
late
has come
break.
down at the front as well, Claude.
It's got close up front as well, has it? This is interesting.
We've got the red Miss Green Bacon T-Jam. It's maybe doing so many, 36 laps now. Maybe he's starting to get a little bit dizzy and
Bit fatigued.
Span's house is catching up.
Really intrigued to figure out how Spanhouse made up all that ground. He did something through that first round of pit stops that allowed him to really pull back, because he was a fair way back on the top 3, which at that stage I think involved Millsy and Skirtle perhaps. But he's making a race of this. Sorry, mate.
I don't think anyone actually fueled in the first stop. So all the guys got that gap where I think maybe Spanhouse did put a bit of fuel in
Yeah.
the first stop. So that's maybe where he's caught his ground up.
Well, he's making a race of it, which is great. Millsy still can't shake off Skirtle. Skirtle's hanging on there. We go back to Magnet, who's holding a solid 5th. That's a good drive from Magnet there. He's been under the pump from Brandosa from a long way out and managed to keep him behind. Keeping some nice tidy lines. Got to keep it consistent as we get towards that final stretch, the final 5 minutes.
Brandos is looking for a move. Up the inside. Oh, cleanly done.
Nice. Took advantage of a slight mistake from Magnet. Looked like he'd run a little wide. Brandos are up in the 5th.
Definitely got the fresher car between the two there.
So with 5 minutes to go.
Oh, that's gone quick.
It has. It has. It hasn't been easy keeping up with them on this tight track.
The lap competitors coming up for the front two there. They're all
Another
starting
one?
to catch the back of the pack. Yep.
Yeah, this is always going to be a factor, I suppose, on a shorter track, and that's traffic. So the leader coming up on the rear end of the counterpunch entry. Hopefully the boys are well aware of what's happening behind them. The problem in this sort of scenario is that he's got cars he's chasing in front too. And
They're looking to make position. So
yeah, you're focused on
forward.
what's in front. It's not often you're really expecting to be lapped, I suppose.
It happens to the best of us, mate.
Yep. If you race against some of those quick blokes you're up against, sooner or later it's going to happen.
It's actually a pretty big gaggle of cars you've got. You've got 9th, Robbo.
This has got real fiery now. Spanhouse is pressuring. We've got 4 cars in front, all lap traffic. Interesting to see. This
3 minutes to go.
with 3 minutes to go. So what are we looking at? We're looking at approximately probably about 5 laps.
5.
Plenty of time. Want to be patient here, maybe not. But Spanhouse is making things very uncomfortable for T-Jam late. Oh, he's having a look here. He's gone deep. Slight little nudge, but other than that...
Oh, Spanhouse and captain.
Oh, my God. And that's worked out in T-Jam's favour there. T-Jam did very well getting past first lap car. Unfortunately for Spanhouse, it's cost him a bit of time. It's allowed T-Jam to skip away now with maybe for no more than 3 laps to go. It's going to be hard work for Spanhouse to close the gap again, unless some of these back markers do him a favour again. Oh, it's not easy to get out of the way sometimes in these sections, and
You can stop and lose position, or
yeah, or you can stop too much and cause an accident too. I mean, you got to find that fine line. He's given room there. The Lucky's lawn care entry.
That has let Spanhouse back up again, 6/10.
With a minute and a half to go now, they're closing up on the Revolution entry. If you can help me out with the team name there.
We would be looking at Death Grip.
That's the one I was thinking, the ultra aggressive name they'd gone with, Death Grip. And he would be really the last one that can have an influence on the outcome of this race. T-Jam closing up on the final back marker with only probably 2 laps to go. If that, it looks like he's going to be able to take this race out after a late challenge from Spanhouse. Really impressive drive from Spanhouse. A little bit unfortunate. Here we go, and this is that moment. Oh, he's done very well there. It has allowed him to close right up. We are going to get another lap here, and he's right on the rear bumper. To have led all this way and not finish with the win would be
Well, I think he'll have to answer to Womble as well, won't he?
Somebody will. He'd maybe be thinking that. No, he should be just focusing on the road ahead here. One eye on the mirror. Oh, he's having a bit of a... Doing his best to distract him. Left, right. Oh!
No. Sideways out of the corner. Lost the drive.
He gave it everything. Great race, boys.
Well done, T-Jam.
Impressed.
Well done, boys. Lucy preferred.
I thought that for a second there he was going to get him, but yeah, he just gave it a little bit too much. So as we go through, Millsy's managed to finish in third. Brandosa in fourth. Skirtle fifth. Ando sixth. Good drive, Ando. Magnet seventh.
Raider Racer comes through with the penalty over the line there. Love that.
Yeah, a few boys with penalties there. Exciting finish in the end. They gave us a little bit to get worked up about. All in all, an interesting race as we have a quick run through properly of our race results. Final positions, as we saw there, T-Jam managing to hang on after pretty much leading. Well, he did lead, didn't he, from start to finish?
Much, yeah.
Managed to qualify in pole and finish atop of them all. Spanhouse second, Millsy third. Welcome back, Millsy. Good return. Brandosa 34 has managed to get himself into fourth. Skirtle fifth. Was looking podium bound early, but slipped back a tad through the race. Ando has managed sixth. Magnet seventh. Raider Racer eighth. Robbo Sport ninth. There we go. Rui in 10th. The captain 11th. Daz in 12th. Shiami or what? Shermanator in 13th and Dobrev back in 14th. Well done, guys. Now as we sell...
return for Dobrev coming back in.
Solid return. It's takes a little while to get back into it. So a few boys there getting put a lap down by some of the front runners, but this is what it's all about. It's about if you're looking sort of to a future racing within Sector 1, we've got different levels, different classifications, and everybody fits in somewhere, and we just often use this community series to work out where drivers would be best suited to join when the opportunity presents. Yes, Banhouse almost there for Auto 1 there, Troy. Nearly on the top step.
Well, I was actually watching an old community race when I did the Mustang series, and I was looking at the names. I didn't really know who they were back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had the VLX, you had the DB007s, you had Speedy Tyres in there, and like when I first started, didn't know who those guys were.
Yeah, and now
pretty quick operators, and
now we've got two of those blokes finished 1-2 in the very top, in the top class there last season. Main players have become big parts of what Sector 1's all about, and they've all filtered through this community race series, which we are potentially looking to expand further down the track, possibly to 2 races, depending on the interest and how many people we sort of get involved. Having a full grid tonight was fantastic and a good start.
Yeah, good work for the boys.
I don't know if we ever do. We do driver of the day for the community series, and I think it's looking like the winner's getting the chocolates. Driver of the day, chat, chuck it up there. It was a pretty solid, faultless drive from the winner. Really didn't do much wrong.
And under a bit of pressure there at the end as well. So it's sometimes hard when you get a bit of pressure coming from behind to hit your apexes and your braking markers to keep it where you want to go. And he's done quite well.
Particularly late in a race, and particularly when you've got traffic to clear. Don't know if it gets much more pressurised than that. But he handled it perfectly. I'm sure if he continues to compete in the community series, we'll be seeing him up the pointy end again. As we saw a little bit earlier. Well, as we mentioned, a little bit earlier. Sunday night. Of course, we've got the B Series guys, the GT and BMW B groups, hitting the track at Yami.
Yami.
Yeah, which is the extended version of this track. Yamigawa, something like that. Which should sort the beginning of the process of sorting out the men from the boys, where we start to see boys from the B Series jump up into the A and some of the A drop down into the B as they start to sort themselves out. And if the racing is anywhere near as good as what it was for Group A, that'll be something to watch on Sunday night.
Especially seeing the Group B boys in the Ferraris as well, so they see how they handle it.
Yeah, we saw that some of the A boys had their hands full, didn't they?
Correct. Tyre life is definitely high on the agenda.
I think tyre life is what this championship's going to be all about, really. In the Ferraris, who can? Thanks, Jimmy. See who can sort of conserve the tyres most, and it's those guys that are capable of driving the car without it sliding much that seem to benefit. That's what you'd be practicing, I'm assuming. Diego, you in your practice trying to reduce the amount of slide?
Correct, especially in the Ferrari. Like the Aston last year, I actually really liked that car. That sort of suited my driving, where the Ferrari doesn't whatsoever. So I've had to
adjust the style a little bit,
change the whole driving style. More sensitive, more precise in the steering. It's a bit hard to explain, but obviously the mid-rear engine car to the front engine car's a big change.
I'm assuming it's a more subtle application of throttle, smoother application of throttle, not just stomping on the bloody thing, which is the way I like to do it.
The weight balance of the car.
Right.
You just got to sort of look after that with the front sort of running on the brake into the corner, so sort of holds the car stable. But yeah, it's definitely an art form.
Good call there, Buffer. Guys in chat, if you hit the like button, and those of you that haven't subscribed yet, or subscribed, I suppose is what they call it, isn't it, to the channel yet?
Correct, yeah.
Hit the relevant buttons there and get your notifications when it's all going to happen. I know I get notified from about 10 different sources when it's about to happen, so no chance of missing it.
That's not bad. 36 people watching. I don't think I saw any people leave, so I guess that's a good first call.
Yeah, look, it's as I said, I've had a little bit of a technical difficulty with one of the little scenes there, but that's just the way it goes. We'll attempt to iron that one, but it's all panned out well. I thought you had a bit of fun there, Diego, tonight. First crack. Thanks for joining us, first of all.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
I'm sure we'll get ample opportunity to do it again. Don't want to keep on crapping on all night, so we might bring it all to sort of a close here, guys. It's been fun bringing you tonight's community race, brought to you by Auto One. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday for what should be some amazing racing. Otherwise, guys, thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you then.
Night, guys.